single mothers. Can you elaborate why you recommend for men not to talk to single mothers?
Okay. Um, sorry, are you a single mother?
Well, I was, but I still am if we want to just go with the definition of me having a child out of wedlock and being a single parent to that child.
I mean, you
Yes.
still have your
But I
child.
have a husband. Yes, I still have my child.
Okay, wait. Are you? What did you have a child by somebody else? And you're married from someone else.
Yes.
Okay, so but you're married though.
Yes.
Oh, you've won. But I'll speak about. Okay, but you. Okay, so, all right, all right. So most men don't want to be stepfathers. Yeah, most men don't want to be
That,
stepfathers. Yeah, most men don't grow
that's
up
true.
just like most women don't grow up and say, I can't wait to bring up another man's child or another woman's child." Right? I know, and I'm going to speak in a way which people haven't spoke, but this is how I'm going to speak because this is how men speak. So what we're going to find is right. So when women ask for a stepfather, they don't realize what they're asking from a man to do. So I'm going to explain some of the things. So if I have a child, for example, if you have a child already and I come into your life, ultimately, if I'm a man, I'm going to be a provider man. I'm going to have to provide for you and that child. Now, a lot of times women will say, no, it's not your responsibility if I'm dating you, even just dating, but it is going to become your responsibility. If you are in that house now, you're going to be responsible for that child. So we'll start it like this. Let's say you've got one child, then we have our own child. All right. Is the father still in the picture? This is another factor. You know, some men are in the picture, some men are not in the picture. Some relationships are messy. So that's one of the factors that a lot of men don't want to have to deal with a third person in the relationship. If in terms of financing and living a life that we want to live, now if you have a child, we're going to treat it as you have one child, and I'm coming in now, and we want to get married. If I want to have, so if we wanted to buy an apartment, we can maybe have a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, just to start us off, depending on where we are in our life. So let's just talk about just starting off. But if you have a child, ultimately, I'm gonna have to buy an extra room for that child. So it's gonna be a cost incurred. Regardless if I don't see it now, it's gonna be a cost incurred. A lot of the times, women will say, "Oh, you don't have to pay for the child." But what I'm gonna make you understand is, I've used this before and people don't like it, but I have to break it basic to make you understand how men think. So if I took our kids out, both our kids, you know what? Holidays. Let's say I want to go holidays. I want to send my child to Disneyland. I want to pay for my child, but we've got your child, but I actually don't want to pay for your child because it's not my child. I actually say, no, get the father to pay for the child. Are you going to be happy with that? Schooling. If I want to send my child to private school because I have the money to do so, but then I choose to send your child to the local comprehensive school, are you going to be happy with that? I say, tell his father to get it. If, for example, I'm in a child's life and then, 10 years down the line, whatever it is, for example, if it's a girl, a lot of women bring men into their homes and expect you to take on that child as their own. If she ever makes an allegation against me of SA, it can happen. Would you look at me as the father of that child, or would you look at me as someone? What would you believe? Now, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm saying these are some of the things that men have to think about, and you put yourself in these scenarios. When you don't put yourself in these scenarios, you never ever go through this. Now, what you tend to get is women say, "Oh, well, a real man will step up and look after another man's child." But essentially, what they're trying to do is shame you into fixing a problem that they've gone and created, or they'll say, but I had a stepdad and my stepdad was the best influence. Those stepdads today are not like stepdads of old. Those men were rated. They were actually the man that stepped up. Now women come in sometimes with 1, 2 childs and they look at it as a thing, I'm a single mother, and they think it's a badge. It's not a badge of honor. It's a very big disrespect to come to a man with a child from another man and then expect that man to pay for that child. Men, we don't, there's a saying like in the gamers, we don't finish another man's save game. Like there's not you don't come in and start playing another man's 2K or FIFA and be like, yo, no, you don't do that. Those aren't your coins.
Right.
And I was just breaking it down how men think.
No, but I want to break it down.
I mean,
Can
okay.
I just break it down
Okay.
as a single parent?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think you and I are exceptions because we had
Mm-hmm.
both. I was a single parent and I had one child. And the
Yes,
man that
I
I'm
have
with,
one.
I was gonna actually hand him over because I needed a male role model.
Mm.
I was actually gonna
Yes.
give him the child. It wasn't his child. I was actually gonna give him the child to look after because I think that he's better than his father and better than a woman bringing him up. But what
Mm-hmm.
I find is that I think that if you find a feminine single mother, and I mean feminine in every sense of the word,
Mm.
then it's okay. You find it easier to take on a child. Because in my house, I grew up and nobody gets physically punished. right? So that's a standard that I've always had.
No, but that,
So hang on a minute. So if you meet a man and he's got the same standards as you, so my man can do anything to my child because I know that we have the same standards. If it comes to discipline, it'll be the same standards.
that's what,
And I think that if it's a single parent and she's got one child from this dad, one child from that dad, one child from this, why are you going with it? And to add it onto it, when I got back with my son, with my man,
yeah,
he was a single parent.
yeah, but it's different.
It's different for a man to be a single
Yeah,
parent.
it is. You know it is. And I would just argue another thing I would say in regards to discipline. Can I discipline that child like it's mine? Are you going to like, and these are the things when it's not you. If we ever break up, do I still have access to that child like it's mine? Because technically it's not my child. So would you then take away that child? These are a lot of things that men have gone through. Friends of mine have gone through it. So when I say, you know, you can be an anomaly, she can be. I'm not saying like, you know, there's not
I'm
exceptions.
thinking we are because I think that women go out there, they take the men, but they don't give the men all.
No,
the,
but
they
they're
don't give
women
the
like
men the
her.
same,
But I'm sure
No,
she.
I mean the women out there don't give the men the same rules. Like you were saying.
But I'm sure she's. Listen, okay. There's some women that it may just go wrong the first time, right? For any reason, these women can still get a man and win. They can still because they're good women, right? Yeah. Like I'm not saying so you can still win. Like, but how many of you and her are there versus what's going on over there?
No, that's what I said.
You know what I mean? Women like her still win in the end because they represent that small proportion of women that it can go wrong and they say, you know what, it's gone wrong, but let me go and fix up and make it get right. And then they'll go get a man that will see, actually, you know what, because men, we can see that a woman maybe got bamboozled by a guy and she just needs a real man and we'll come and fix it.